We are live.
Oh, it's just too much space. No, that now you just made it more
What?
crooked.
Not crooked. It's you. You're crooked. Here we are. It's weird. When I switch it over to that, it puts up my volume. Even though I turned it down.
Yeah, there's somebody else on here.
Okay, I'm trying to get into chat. Oh, okay.
Hello.
Oh, Kathy's here. Hi, Kathy. She says, "Ooh, I see the crock pot." Yes.
No, it's actually Instant Pot.
Yeah. What are
Pressure
you?
cooker.
And Walter's making dinner in it. He's making meat pies. So we got 5 people. Hello, everybody. Say hello.
Right now I'm making meat pie filling.
Oh, is that what it is? Everything's a technicality with him. Jody's here. Hello, greetings and salutations. This is Jody from Colorado, having a little bubbly myself this fine afternoon. Okay. And Hattie's Attic is here. Hattie's Attic is actually Tracy. Hi, Tracy. And Craft and Bev is here. Hello, Steve Walter. How is your day going? Oh, okay. And Julie's here. Hello, everyone. And Julie, tomorrow on my vlog, I am featuring you as a person of interest. So other people, if you want to get to know Julie, be sure to tune into my vlog when it goes up, probably sometime around midday tomorrow. And of course today we've switched over. We're not drinking wine. We're drinking beer. For something different. Bev is here, or Brenda, sorry, Brenda's here. Okay, so people are coming in, and welcome to everybody. So, lots of different things this week to talk about.
All our snow's gone.
All our snow is, well, almost.
Pretty much.
There's still ice. Far cry from what it was like last weekend. Today, what would you say the temperature was right now?
It's 15 degrees Celsius.
15 degrees Celsius, and the sun is shining, and it looks more like spring, whereas last week we had the ice storm. So that's how things can change. Hi, Laura. Laura's here. And
It's
yeah.
almost warm enough. It's pretty much warm enough to wear a spring jacket.
Ooh, it's almost warm enough to go out and barbecue.
There's probably a lot of people walking around in shorts today.
Well, probably. I know the kids will all be wearing shorts because the high school kids, as soon as any kind of warm weather comes, they're all dressed in their shorts with that. So Ilona's here. Hi, Stephen. Hi, Walter. Hello, everyone.
Hello?
So anyway, so what's been happening? Well, my mother finally got a cleaning lady. You know how I was looking for one? And the one my sister was trying to find was not returning her phone calls, so I don't know why. My sister's not even sure why. Considering that she's the mother of a friend of her son's.
I don't
Mother
know.
of
People
friends,
seem
I
to
don't
do that, trades and stuff. Remember when we were trying to get our porch fixed and stuff? You'd leave them a message and nobody would call you back.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, what is it? That people don't need the work, I guess? I don't get it. But anyways, luckily enough, what was that?
I think it was a bird that flew in
Oh,
front of
it
the
felt
window.
like the hydro flick for a minute.
Yeah, but I don't think so.
Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, I had posted some signs in my mother's apartment building looking for somebody, but then my mother was talking to some other woman that lives above her, and this woman has a cleaning lady that comes in every other week or something like that, or every 3 weeks, I guess, and does a good job. She does a lot of places in my mother's apartment building. So she gave this lady my mother's phone number, and my mother met with her, and my mother seems thrilled, and she's cheap, like $15 an hour. And she'll only be at my mother's place. It's not a big apartment, only for a couple of hours. So, I mean, $30 to clean. I mean, we pay, mind you, it's a whole house, but we pay $120. And our cleaning lady's here about 3.5 hours. So, really, we're paying her, what's that work out to? $40 an hour, roughly, with that. So, this woman's a bargain. So, I hope this all works out.
Sure it isn't $50.
No,
now?
it's 15. Yeah, I know. I asked her that, and you keep going on about it. What are we eating? I don't know. We're just scraping these things up.
Yeah, they're still fresh.
Oh,
What
what are they?
Ritz crisp thins.
Ritz Crisp Thins, and these are salt and vinegar.
Supposedly baked.
Yeah, big. Well, they're not bad.
They're okay.
They're okay. So, anyways, Mom got a cleaning lady. That's good. And later this week, middle of the week, we finally have an assessment interview with the agency that puts people on waiting lists for nursing homes. And I'm hoping all goes well then. I've told my mother already, don't get all gussied up that day. Just, it's at 9 o'clock in the morning anyway, so she won't be too gussied up at that point. I said, so we'll see what happens with that, and hopefully we get her on the list, because I don't know.
Well, your mother, you'll probably all be dressed to the nines. And
Well, it takes her 3 days to put on her makeup, so I don't know. Troll that on. And bet it makes that beer taste good. Or taste God. Spell checker. Okay. But yeah, I knew what you meant. I'm just being funny. So anyways, that's one thing out of my hair. So what else? Well, still working on quilting. I was doing it all day today. So this is a quilt. I'm not finished this. Oh,
that's the Instapot.
Instapot's gone off. French fries are done at McDonald's. So here's my latest. This is called a string quilt, and it's made with scraps. And that's what it looks like at the moment. I'm in the process. I've got it halfway quilted. You can see some of the quilting on the black and on the gray, maybe not, but it's there. And I'm going through on each stripe. I'm doing a straight line in the middle of it. But the whole idea of this is you take this, you cut up strips of material, and you sew them to a piece of type tissue paper. It's called paper foundation, actually. I found deli paper works really well with that. Up higher. This is what the back of it looks like. I thought I'd got enough material yesterday for the backing, and I didn't, but I had a piece of black, so I just cut it in half and added the black stripe. So, anyways, it's not, once I get it finished quilted, then I bind it, and it's done. And I'm kind of happy with this one. And it's really fast to do. Because as I said, you put your strips of material down onto a piece of this paper, you sew it right to the paper, and then you pull the paper off because it's perforated by your sewing needle, and it keeps everything kind of straight. And of course the stripes don't match up on each panel that you make, so to give the illusion that they do, I created the sashing in the middle. And so what happens is your eye actually makes the lines go together until you start studying it really closely. But apparently that's the thing to do, and it's the way you use up your scraps, and that's kind of fun. I've got another quilt on the go, again, sort of made from scraps, but this one I'm doing, these are all triangles. And right now I've got 64 little tiny blocks in it that I have to square up and then sew together and then put a border on it. So we'll see how that works. But now we've got another idea. You know, Walter does stained glass. Well, I was looking at things about doing stained glass effect with quilts. And so kind of thinking, okay, if we pick a pattern that I could do as a quilt and he could do as a piece of stained glass and put the two of them together, it might be kind of cool. So we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, I still have to get back to my stained glass. Meanwhile, now my workshop, after you cleaned out your stuff this week, my workshop is piled high again. So
Brenda says, would make a wonderful giveaway to one of your most loyal watchers. Well, at the rate that I'm making these quilts, that's not necessarily an impossible idea, because how many quilts does one person need? But after you put all that time and effort into it, I'm kind of loath to give them away yet. I'm not at that stage yet anyways. I don't feel that they're good enough to give to people. I wouldn't mind getting a quilt rack, though, that you can, like, you know, you hang them all down on. It's kind of a towel rack, basically, but it holds, like, I don't know, maybe 10 quilts or something, kind of folded up, and they could be on display. Actually, I thought of an area where we could put that, but it would mean getting rid of the organ.
yeah, good.
I was thinking that, yeah, I know, we got rid of it. I have this old organ downstairs. I've got one sitting next to me, too. Yeah, the one downstairs works better. That was my grandmother's from that she bought in the early 1960s, you know, electronic organ. And it weighs a ton. I don't play it.
Tubes in it.
It still works, but I don't play it or anything because, well, I suck. I took piano for years, but I still suck. And I haven't touched a keyboard in years either. So the trick is, I would give it to somebody if they come and they take it out of our basement because it weighs a ton. And
Yeah, but I have a feeling nobody wants it.
no, probably
So
not.
a while ago on Kijiji or whatever, on one of the Craigslist, there was like 1 million of them, and nobody wanted them. Like people wanted to even give them away, and
Yeah.
nobody wanted them.
But it's just like I hate to take it and like into the dump because it was my grandmother's, and you know that was her pride and joy when she got that organ.
Of course, nobody else wanted it when she passed away either. So.
No. Well, she always said she was going to give it to one of the grandchildren that was the best musician. That wasn't me, but I got it anyways. My sister was probably the best musician. My sister still plays. She has her own piano though and everything like that. But I don't know. I remember my grandmother always saying we couldn't play the organ until we had washed our hands. We had to make sure our hands were absolutely clean and everything like that. So, but anyways, we'll see. So
Wet stuff on your
what?
paper?
Yeah, I did. I just dropped a little beer on there. So, actually, Craft and Bev says I took the side of an old crib and hang it on my wall to put all my quilts on.
That's an interesting.
We don't have any old cribs because we don't have any bebes, or we never had any bebes. Well, maybe we could kill a kid. Actually, I should look over at Value Village. There might be something there. You know, Value Village always has all kinds of. It's a charity
worst
shop.
comes to worst, I could try and make something. Of course, it'd take me forever. So.
Oh yeah, like my book press.
Um,
Yeah, I'm so over book binding now. Thank God. That well, not really. It's just that you never made my book press.
well, I can make them.
Yeah, that you keep saying that. Of course, I don't know if I'd use it, but I bought that expensive twist for it. But
Yeah.
whatever. I don't even know where that is. Oh, and
It's in my workshop somewhere.
Laura says you can use a ladder too. That's true.
It'd be kind of skinny though.
Yeah, because you want something that's
Runs aren't really wide enough.
no, but you don't put them out full length anyways.
No.
Most of them are like folded under into about a third of their size or something like that. But whatever. Right now, I've got two of them sitting on guest bedroom bed. One is hanging over a couch downstairs, and I redid my, and if you saw it, because I did on the Idiot Quilter section of my YouTube channel, I redid my sewing area this week, and I used one of my quilts, quilt number 2, is hanging in front of a window, over a window actually, just because I wanted to hang it up. But it was the one that
I don't want people peeping in on you. That's all.
Well, they can't because you've got a piece of stained glass in
Yeah,
that
that's
window,
true.
and there's a
covering
curtain
up
there.
my stained glass.
Well, you can see it from the outside. It's been covered up before. There was a curtain over top
Yeah,
of it,
okay,
anyways.
fine.
Like really, and you put it there. I don't know. If you want to put it somewhere, we can take it down and
Yeah,
put it somewhere
okay, fine.
else. Not my quilt. Your stained glass. Joyce says, "Do you have garage sale in Canada? You post items, the buyer clicks a button that they want to purchase it, the seller leaves it on the porch, and the buyer places the $ under the mat. Places the money under the mat." We have something that I'm on Facebook,
I think
but
there's a couple of sites like that. We have a couple other sites too.
Yeah.
Like, it's one called Kijiji and stuff like that you can sell stuff on. But like I said, you go on those sites and you look up organs, and there's 1 million of them posted. Nobody wants them.
gee, I went in and put in organs, and I didn't get any of those kind of things.
Oh yeah,
I got a
right.
lot. Never
You're not on
mind.
the personal section.
Oh, yeah, right. Never mind. But anyways, well, it's an idea. I got to get rid of it. It's sitting there. It's gathering dust. You know, big deal. My grandmother's passed away many, many years ago, so whatever. So, anyways, the other thing too is, well, you know about the new section on YouTube that I've created, the Idiot Quilter, and I intend to do little 10-minute videos on there of just things that happen while I'm quilting, as I'm an idiot with it. Like, I learned some new things every time I go into the Ultimate Sewing Store. I learn something new.
Yeah, you learn that you spend a lot of money.
Yeah, this week I did. Well, my serger, I took
Part
him.
of it's my fault. So.
Yeah, you're an enabler. Yeah, we go into the store on, what day was that? Tuesday?
Yeah.
Tuesday, we go in because I need it. What did I go in there for? Oh, I need a backing material for that other quilt, the one that I'm making that have the diamonds in it that I've shown you. And we're looking around. He goes, "Oh, look, they have these bags for carrying your sewing machine." Well, I had a bag, but it wasn't really meant for my sewing machine. It was meant for my brother's scan and cut. Sort of did the purpose, but it was a little small and whatnot. And ooh, these are nice. Yeah, $250 nice. But I got 10% discount, so I bought it. You know, like it was on sale. It wasn't on sales because I get 10% because I bought my sewing
Yeah,
machine.
and that's my fault because I pointed them out.
Well, I did want a decent one to drag stuff. And this will hold all my stuff and the whole bit. And oh well, what the hell? 10 years time, it's just money. But anyways, yeah. So let's see. And now here's something I'm toying with. I've shown you before the fabric in my vlogs that I have designed and get from Spoonflower. Well, one of the owner of the sewing store that I go to, she had only just saw my first material that I made into that bag, and she goes, "That's really nice, that material." I says, "Well, it's my design," and I explained to her how I do it and about Spoonflower, and she says, "You know, you should send some of your fabric designs to Northcott Publishing because they're always looking for Canadian designers for fabric." And then she said, "And I can give you the name of a couple of other places too that might be interested." Now, at first I thought, yeah, really? But that, I kind of thought, well, maybe because my designs are based on my art. And they're not really, they're abstract. And like Walter said, he hasn't seen a lot of that kind of thing around. Like usually you see prints, a repeated print kind of a thing, you know, little things on it like puppy dogs or whatever, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to maybe do some more artwork. Like basically it's backgrounds for art journal pages kind of a thing. Take a few pictures of them, contact Northcott and say, "Look, I do this. Are you interested? What?" And see. I mean, what's the worst thing they can say is no. They just ignore me. So whatever. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. So who knows? And actually, it's a way of combining two worlds that I love: quilting and art journaling. So, you know, it might work out. Maria says, "Go for it. What's the worst that can happen?" Exactly. And Laura says, "Awesome. You should." Yeah. Well, you know, I'm going to go for it. And we'll see. By the way, Bev, my name's with a V. I'm not a step hen. I'm a Steven. I spell it the right way. That's what I tell people anyways. But anyways. So, what else coming up? I told you I reorganized the sewing room. So now I've got things spread out so that I can actually cut and press. And I don't have to keep moving my cutting board or moving my pressing board and stuff like that. And I didn't have to encroach upon Walter's workshop too far. Well, I had to move my treadmill over just a few inches. But
Well, the only problem now is whenever I go in my workshop, you're in there.
you're right. You never go into the workshop. Well,
Well, that's why I don't want to go in the workshop because you're there all the time.
so what's that got to do with anything? It's like, what? You're gonna clean it up? That'll be the day. Um,
Yeah, well, you keep piling stuff on my side. That's how you clean up your side. You put everything on my side.
yeah, right. Yeah, okay, whatever. All right, so speaking of a-hole things, let's talk about Walter's colonoscopy this week. He is a perfect a-hole. Why are you a perfect a-hole? Because,
Because she said so.
yeah, she did. The doctor said so.
Said everything was fine.
He didn't have any polyps or anything like that. And, of course, mind you, the stuff he had to take before he went damn near killed him. But,
No, I was okay. It wasn't that bad.
oh, well, you were complaining all the time. Oh, I got, ooh. Like, jeez.
I just had to go to the bathroom a lot.
Yeah, well, that's why they give you that stuff. What a shitty job, though. Pun intended. I wouldn't want it. Why would anybody want to be a proctologist? That is what you call them, isn't it? Or is that, no, is a proctologist is really actually specialist for
I don't know what
the,
she is. She's a gastrointestinal, whatever.
a proctologist one for the prostate, isn't it?
No, I think
What is
they
it?
might call them that in the States. proctologist.
Nah,
They
I
don't
don't-
call them that here. They call them gastrointestinal or thing or something.
Well, whatever. Someone's got to do it, I
Specialist.
guess. But what would ever make you, like in medical school,
Yeah, but
want to
then
do
I'll
this?
think of all the other things that you can do in that are medical, that are specialists for the body. Are any of them appealing?
More appealing than doing this.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, brain surgery, that might be interesting. I don't know.
Sexologist.
Oh, a sexologist, that would be fun. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Kathy says gastroenterologist. Gastroenterologist.
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds right.
Yep. Fancy. Joey says, oh, that's what I admire about you, Stephen. You're not afraid to try something. The first time I submitted a scrapbook layout to a magazine, it was published. Just never know. Keep us updated. Yeah, I have been published a couple of times in some scrapbooking magazines as well over the years.
Yeah, you even got paid one time.
I
didn't
did
you?
get paid. They asked me to write an article, a review of a product. That was for Cloth, Paper, and Scissors about a year and a half ago. And I'll never do that again. Because writing an article, it's not the writing that's hard. It's, you have to follow a certain format. It has to be in a certain style, the whole bit. And I had to do multiple rewrites.
Wasn't there something about you had to have a picture taken on something and it had to be done with a certain type of camera and a certain
Yeah.
It was like really
It was really involved. And I mean, for what I got paid for the article, I think I got, what they pay me, about $125. I think it was. But it's just what worked out in Canadian or something. I mean, and it was just a short little article about, what was I showing them? Oh, iZinks, which are colorant product, basically, on that. So, anyways, though I was kind of flattered that they asked. I had another flattery thing too this week. One of the regular viewers, and that's she's out in BC. I reviewed her website and that a few months ago. Apricot Cottage Studio, I think it is. Oh, what's her name? I know what her name is. Is it Kathy? Anyways, she sent me an email and asked if I would be interested in going out to her group in BC and doing a workshop about acrylic pouring. Yeah, I would, that would have been really interesting, except it's BC. That's 5,000 kilometers from where we live. And I did discuss this on my vlog, and I'm sure most of you saw that. But I was very flattered. But the logistics of it are just too great. I mean, it's not like they have a lot of money to be able to. I mean, a flight alone would be $600 to $800, might even be more. Depends on the time of the year you go out there. Then you've got accommodation and food, and like if I was going out there, Walter would be coming with me because I'd want to go out for at
because you
least a
wouldn't want
week.
to leave me alone.
Well, I can. It's not a problem for me. But anyways, I was just flattered that they should ask, but I don't do this on a professional basis. So, I'm not Julie Fathe Balzer who flies all over the United States giving workshops.
Yeah,
and
you're
everything.
the idiot quilter.
I'm the idiot quilter, yeah. Who knows? Maybe that'll catch on or something. Let's see what people say. Lucky you, Walter. So pleased for you. I've had many of them done over the years, Julie says, and that's colonoscopies. Yeah.
Well, she told me I don't have to come back for another 10 years. She's tired of looking at me.
Yeah, well, sure she is. Like, hello. Was there an echo? Did she go, hello, 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 hello?
I know I was asleep
You're
for
asleep.
most of it.
Yeah, for most of it. You said you woke up
I
before
woke up before they were completely done.
Ooh. Ooh. Well, I guess there was one point in time when they didn't used to put you out.
Well, I think they're in, I don't know. Yeah, my mom, I think she felt it when they did it.
Ooh.
That was a long time ago.
Ew. Well,
I got cookies afterwards. So.
yeah, well, that's the best part of it. Because last time I had my colonoscopy, you wake up with a juice box and 2 cookies. So, now, last time I went, though, I did have some polyps. But he told
so
me
you're
they
not
were
an asshole.
well, I'm not a perfect asshole, so there you go. He told me though that he says, well, He says, don't get too excited about them. He says, they're the most common ones anybody can get.
Pimples.
Yeah. He said, I got rid of them. They're fine. There's nothing you need to worry about. But I think he wants me to go 5 years instead of 10.
Well, you're not going to that doctor anymore.
Well, no, that was the specialist that
okay.
told me that. Like, it wasn't my old doctor. I had to get a new doctor. I've got Walter's doctor now. I haven't
She'll
met her
probably
yet.
send you to the woman that did mine.
Probably. But that's okay. And Julie says, and Walter, over here, you do not get sedated for it. So lucky you. Ew. Oh, you knocked me out. I'm not getting that thing stuffed up me with being away like, hello? Unless they're going to offer dinner and a
Yeah,
drink.
well, I was pretty much out that day.
Well, they give you the rape drug, don't they?
Yeah, I don't know. They give you. Yeah, they must give you that.
That's what my doctor told me. He says, because my old doctor was Chinese.
So they raped me.
And he used to say, I said, so did they knock you out? My very first time I ever had one. I was 50 when I had my first one. And he said to me, oh, I got you set up for a colonoscopy. And I go, why? Because you're 50. You don't need one. Oh, fine. I said, well, did they knock you out? Oh, yeah, they give you that date rape drug. No problem. You go sleep, you wake up, everything fine. Yeah. I went, okay, fine. And then they make jokes. Actually, where I went, they were quite funny. The guy who knocks you out, I never can say that word, the knockout guy. And the doctor.
Anesthesiologist.
Yeah, and they're making jokes when I'm in there about stuff, and then next thing I know, I wake up and, like I said, a juice box and 2 cookies. So.
No, they didn't make any jokes. They were fairly serious.
Oh.
Maybe they're afraid of getting too many complaints or something.
Well, I don't know. I mean, look at what they're doing. It just naturally lends itself to making comedy out of it. But anyway, so Walter is a perfect a-hole. As if I didn't know that. Oh, I got a job offer this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, at the Ultimate Sewing. They had offered me a job there the very first time I went into the place.
Well,
not
no,
the
that
very
was
first
when you
time.
bought the sewing machine.
Oh, and there was that difficult lady that you knew.
That I knew, and you got rid of her. That's probably why.
Yeah, well, I'm good at turning people off. There's no problem. Yeah, she was being
Obnoxious.
and she was bugging. Like, I'm trying to buy a sewing machine, and she's going on, oh, this one's really great, and this one, oh, yeah, that one, oh, that one's good. And I could see that the owner of the place was getting a little uptight with her. So I just told her, okay, back away from my sewing machine now.
And
I
was very
I went into teacher
firm.
mode. I went into teacher mode.
Yeah, I know. It scared the crap out of her. She shut up real quick, and I worked with her for years, and she was always like that. She would drive everybody nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, nice lady. She's a nice lady and everything else, and she means well, but she likes to be the center of attention. So.
Well, anyways, right after that, she offered me a job, and I thought she's just joking. And she says, no, I'm serious. I says, I know nothing about this stuff. I'm just learning. Like, I wouldn't feel confident, for one thing. But anyway, she says, I'm serious about it. Think about it. And, if you ever want one, well, then when we went in this week, she offered again. She said, I am serious about, and you can pick your hours. She says, we're a family-operated business, and, if you need to go away, you want to go away for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever, you can pick the day you want to work on or the days you want to work on and how long you want to work and all that. I'm still not. I said to her, I really appreciate that you have this confidence in me that you think I could work there. I mean, I have worked retail. I worked for 2 years after I retired for a scrapbooking store, so, But that's different. I knew that stuff. This is all new to me, and I'm learning. Mind you, I'm learning a lot pretty fast, but I'm a fast learner. But nevertheless, I said to her, the problem is I don't want to be tied down. That was the problem with where I worked before. I liked working there, but the problem was I had to plan my life around going into work, and I'm retired, like... You should be able to do your own thing on your own time. So I told her that. I said, that's my only thing. I said, but thanks for the offer. And she's, well, if you ever change your mind, no problem. Plus, on top of it, all any money I'd make there, I would blow on material. And that would be a danger. Because I used to do that in the scrapbooking store.
Well, why is that more dangerous than what you do now?
Just means I'd spend even more because I mean, I was a paper junkie for years as a scrapbooker. Now I'm becoming a fabric junkie. As I look and go, ooh, that's pretty with it. So apparently that's not unusual for people who sew or quilters, that kind of thing, I guess. So anyways, I thought it was very flattering that I should be asked. I'd be nervous about cutting people's material for them, their fabric, because that's when I would know there would be bloodletting. I'd probably run over their fingers with the rotary cutter or over mine. I'd probably cut it crooked or whatever because I'd be nervous about it and the whole bit. Yeah, I don't think it would be a good fit. But nevertheless, Laura says, speaking of Class Act, do they sell Graphic 45 paper? Oh, yes, definitely. In fact, Graphic 45 is one of their staples there, Laura. And
if they don't have it, they can order it.
They can order it for you without any problem. So, and I'll be even able to tell you when it's coming in because I still work for them. I look after all of their pricing. I'm behind the scenes. I do it from home. And every time an order comes into the store, I figure out what they're going to charge for it. Well, based on their formula, but I do the math and everything. Actually, I wrote macros in a spreadsheet that does it for me. So, Laura says, awesome, I'm going on Thursday then. Okay, mention my name. The only thing, Laura, is when you go in, they may not have a big selection in stock because it varies all the time. Because Graphic 45 comes out with new lines almost every month. And they do go very fast in the store. So you may not find it actually in the store. So if you don't want to waste a trip, if that's all you're going for, I would suggest you call them up. 905-240-8400 and ask them what they've got in stock for Graphic 45 paper. And they'll tell you. But, if you want to go in and look around at other things too, that's okay. But if you're just going in there for the Graphic 45, then I would call ahead because I know how fast that stuff goes. But like I said, they can get any of the collections pretty much for you. And I don't want to say you'll get it the next day because you won't. Yeah, we'll talk privately about it, but you will get it eventually. And Laura says, oh, you're on my list for my maid class. Okay. So bring your stash, Laura, when you come to my class. This class we're doing is sort of an interactive page, but whatever you got. Now I always have lots of extra stuff too. So there's a list, you probably saw it when you signed up for the class under my description of a basic stash of supplies that you should bring with you to an art journaling class. But if you're missing some of that stuff, don't worry about it. Bring whatever you have. I've always have extra of everything because not everybody's at different levels, and so it doesn't matter. Okay, she did that. All right, so I'm going to save this one for a moment or two, our little thing I told people earlier today about. But let's see. Some of you have been sending me stuff to show on my vlog about you, person of interest, and that's great. And the rest of you, get on with it. I mean it. I want it. Get it. Send it to me. I'm doing it. I'm doing 2 people this week. Julie is one. And who's the other one? Virginia. Virginia Schneider. Now, I don't know if Virginia has ever been on here. Oh, yeah. She has been. She's from South Carolina. But I don't think she's on today. But anyways, I got 2 to show this week. All right. Let's see. Okay. Let's talk about a stupid thing, first of all. Let's talk about Canada's, or Ontario's, Trump. His name is Doug Ford. Doug Ford just recently became the leader of the Conservative Party in Ontario. He's an idiot. If you're from Ontario, you know what I'm talking about. But he is exactly a photocopy of Trump in everything. He opens his mouth and stupid flows from it. So tell them about the stupid one.
So the current party that's in power right now, which is Liberals, are making all these election promises and stuff like that for thing. And one of the election things that they came, or a recent budget thing they said, was that people that made over $130,000 would have to pay a little extra tax, and it would work out to about another $200 a year. So he came out, he can't think on his feet, and he obviously cannot do math, right? So he comes out and says, oh, that would mean that a family of 5 would have to pay an extra $1,000 a year. And somebody said to them, well, usually kids don't work, right? So, and it's only on people that earn $130,000 or more. So assuming that would, if a family of 5 would have to pay $1,000, that means everybody in that family of 5 would have to make an individual salary of $130,000 or more. He said, yeah, that's right. So,
duh.
So, I mean, whether you agree with the tax or not or something like that, I mean, it's kind of an idiot thing to say when the math doesn't add up, and when you're putting it out to you that it's wrong, you could at least try and, obviously he can't figure it out.
He hasn't got a clue.
And it's he doesn't really think fast on his feet. So he's already turned down debates and things like that because he can't think fast on his feet.
No, but he's exactly like Trump. And here's the scary part, though. The Premier of Ontario right now, and for those of you that aren't familiar with Canadian politics, Premier is basically like, I guess in the States, like a governor of a state.
I guess so, yeah.
Our Premier right now is a woman, Wynne is her name, and she's very clever. But lately she's been causing a lot of controversy. A lot of people don't like her and don't like her policies and things like that. But we have an election coming up in June, and for the province, and she will be running against him. Plus, there's another woman who runs the third party, the NDP, but she has no chance in hell of getting in because that party never gets in power. And the one time that it did, I voted for them, and that was a mistake. That was quite a few years ago. But anyways, so essentially we have 2 parties, Liberal and the Conservatives. One's leftist, one's rightist, kind of a thing. She has pissed off a few people, and
quite a few people.
And the scary part is that maybe Ford could get in. Now, in the States, no one ever thought that Trump would get in because he was an idiot. Yet he got in. And that's the scary part. It could happen in Ontario. If he gets into power, he says he's for the little man. He has no idea. He's rich. He's a millionaire. He's like Trump.
Yeah, he's for the little man, but he inherited the business that he works for.
And the business that he owns is located. It has an office in Toronto, but the factory and everything.
And the head office is in the United States.
It's in Chicago. Like, really. This is like, it's just, what's scary is right now the parallels between Trump and this guy. And I'm just afraid that there'll be stupid people here too that might actually vote him in.
It won't probably be the end of the world like it isn't the end of the world in the United States either. So.
Oh, Brenda says, Houston, we have a problem. I'm Trump all the way. It's the best thing that happened in this country. Thank God Hillary didn't make it. Yeah, whatever.
Glad you think so.
Yeah. And Crafton Babe says, I'm tired of Trump's lies and crap. I didn't want Hillary either. I vote for another guy. Can we just start over and not have either one of them run again? Yeah. Whatever.
Well, we're sort of in that situation.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't like her, you don't like him. Who do you vote for?
Who do you vote for? And not voting is not the answer. And I know people who turn around and say that and go, well, what does it matter? They're all assholes. I'm just not going to vote because my vote won't count anyways. Yes, it does. In this country, it does. It doesn't in the United States. Sorry, Americans, but you have that electoral college, which is the stupid thing that was ever put together on the planet of the earth.
Into politics here.
Well, why not? Don't be so PC.
Well, no, it's just that it's sort of like, it's an endless topic. So.
Yeah, it is. But whatever. Actually, I don't care who's in power in the States because it's the States. We're in Canada. But I'm just saying, we've got this idiot who, and it seems to be the trend in things in politics these days is the idiots get the votes. So, whatever. But, hello, both. These politicians are cunning and have money to manipulate. Yep. And Craft and Bev says, a lot of them road and stupid candidates such as Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, and other cartoon characters. If they had just took some gumption and maybe vote for somebody totally different, we might have. Yeah. But whatever. So people, let's not get too political here because Walter will get all upset.
Well, it's just like it becomes an endless topic.
Yeah,
Everybody
true.
has an opinion, so.
I just thought it was really funny in a very weird way that Doug Ford can't do the math properly. Anyways, what else has eaten Walter this week? Well, talk about your clothes.
Slim-fitting clothes. I'm not slim. I'm not probably going to become slim. I can lose a little bit of weight, but I'm not going to still be able to get slim. So anyway, there's a whole lot of places to buy clothes these days. But anyway.
Men's clothes especially.
Yeah, so I've been going to a place called Mark's Work Warehouse for quite a few years, which I kind of like. But, and they used to have clothes that fit people that weren't skinny. And so, I'm not fat, but I'm not like super skinny. But,
get up the calipers.
But anyway, so everywhere I go now, every time I go look for a shirt or something, everything says it's slim fit or fitted or something like that. And I used to be able to wear that when I was 20, but I can't wear that now. And now it's almost impossible to find any clothes that fit.
I know.
And it seems like I've tried on shirts too. They'll say that they're normal fit or is that, what do they call it? Classic fit, which is supposedly not slim fit. But I've tried them on too, and they sometimes fit a bit tight too.
Well, their sizes don't work anymore.
And what happens is, what I think these companies are doing is to save on material. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
So this place at Mark's Work Warehouse, who does work clothes for average men, still doesn't have stuff, and now it doesn't have stuff. And then the stores all start complaining that they're not getting any sales. Well, if you're not marketing to the average person, how can you expect to have sales?
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, what brought this up this week was because I said, I need to go and get a new pair of black jeans. And then he said the type that I usually buy, they don't make anymore, but I usually buy the ones that this particular store is their own brand, and I get Flex Fit. Because anything else, if it's not the Flex Fit, it's the sizes. I can try a pair of jeans on in one brand and another pair in another brand, both the same size. One might fit, the other won't fit. So what's with that? And it's the same with shirts. I used to know. I went in, I was a medium in a shirt. Then I became a large for some reason. And I don't know, maybe because I got a little bigger, I guess, or whatever. But it's the way they fit. So what happens is you buy a large, but it fits.
The shoulders don't fit.
Yeah, the shoulders don't fit, or like it's. So
Yeah.
What somebody on here just said, Craft and Bev says, she's making her own clothes so they can fit her. Maybe I should start taking up tailoring. They're making clothes too. It's just a pain in the butt. And the worst part is, and I think I may have mentioned this before on something, is men our age, they don't cater to men our age. It's either like clothes that look like something you're going to go in the nursing home in, or everything is catered towards the 20-somethings. And I'm sorry, but at my age, I can't wear them. Well, first of all, they're skinny fit or slim fit and all that kind of thing, tapered fit. And the other thing is, I don't want to look like a 20-year-old because that would just look
They have a
bad.
whole pile of different wordings for that too. It's slim fit, tapered, fitted. They've got there's a couple of other things that says modern fit. That's the other
Modern
thing. Modern
fit.
fit.
Oh, God. You can't keep up with it. So, needless to say, my wardrobe consists of mainly black jeans and these kind of shirts. Until the weather gets warmer, it'll be these kind of shirts with short sleeves. And that's it. I don't have anything that if I had to go to some place, something that was, very formal in dress, I'd have to buy clothes.
Yeah.
I don't have anything anymore. And mainly because there's nothing out there that would look suitable for me. I mean, these got these jackets and these skinny pants now. I was looking in a window of a store a couple of weeks ago, Tip Top Tailors or whatever, or in the Oshawa Shopping Center. So they have, now it's this trend is to wear jackets that are like in bright colors and pastels and things. They're lime green or they're cherry red. And then you match them up with like orange pants that are skinny fit or something. And you wear your shirt on the outside underneath it without a tie. Actually, it's not a bad look. It's very hippie. Hippie, I mean hip, I guess. And that kind of stuff. I don't think I could carry it off. Well, one, I'd have to find stuff that fit, and they don't make them in my shape. And the other thing is, there's nothing sadder than looking at a 60-year-old man trying to look like he's 20-something.
Yeah, it's like in the 70s, these old
Doesn't
guys
work.
that used to have all of the gold chains on.
Yeah, I'm just checking up here with Preezy asks, do we have any pets? And Laura just answered the question for her. But yeah, we used to have a cat, our baby, Cleo. But Cleo passed away almost 3 years ago, come this July 9th. She had cancer. She had pancreatic cancer.
Or whatever.
Yeah, we miss her a lot. That was the hardest thing I ever had to do in my life was when we had to take her to the vet and have her put to sleep.
Well, if we hadn't have taken her, she probably would have expired on her own soon.
Yeah. She stopped eating and drinking, and it was bad. And would I get another one? There are times when I think I'd like another cat, but
The problem is
no.
we like to travel.
Yeah.
And the one thing that was hard when we went away was to leave her behind.
I mean, she was well looked after while we were gone.
Yeah,
We
I
didn't
know, but
leave her abandoned.
still, it was difficult.
Yeah, we were.
And so we never went away for more than a couple of weeks then.
That's why we couldn't go to Australia then.
And then, so what's been nice is to be able to take a longer time for vacation and go somewhere a little further,
Yeah.
like Australia or something, and not have to worry about a pet. So,
Yeah. But she was our baby. She was darling. We had her for 13 years. And
I mean, I wouldn't mind another cat, but or whatever. I was never a cat person, but I mean, I ended up being a cat person.
yeah.
I was maintenance. I did. She was long hair, so I had to. I brushed her all the time so that she didn't get any knots, and I clipped her toenails all the time.
But she loved that. She'd
And I
play with him when he was doing that.
I'd play fight with her, so I'd end up with a handful of scratches.
Yeah, she had her
after.
claws still, because we never had her declawed because that was the plan when we first got her. She was a rescue. But then I found out what they did, and I didn't. I just thought somehow there was able to remove the nail and that. No, they amputate them at the
Yeah,
first
and then
knuckle.
as she got older, her nails got really thick, and
Yeah.
it was really difficult to cut. Yeah, I didn't want to hurt her or anything, so.
No, she was pampered. She had the best life any cat could ever have. I miss her a lot, but anyways, that's then and that's now. Laura says, I know I buy at Pennington's, but I don't know a male alternative. Well, there used to be like big and tall stores or something like that, but I'm not tall. That's the other problem. Fat
Short
and
and
wide.
fat.
I'm short and fat. Yeah, like it's not like
Well, not like we're
not.
really heavy.
Well, speak
the
for
thing-
your. Well, I'm not, but
Yeah, but it. I mean, I can wear a regular shirt. Like these are older shirts. A regular shirt that still fits, right? But it's the really slim stuff, and it seems like all the stores carry it. You go to all the main stores, and you go, and I don't like buying clothes at Walmart, so.
Yeah, I know. So I don't know, and hate clothes shopping. Now, I used to be a real clothes horse way back many when I was in my 20s and I was first started working in the whole bit. I had a closet full of stuff. I would buy new stuff every week. In fact, I got into a little debt at that point in time too because I was charging a lot of it. And and now I just dread going in and looking at 'cause I don't know what to buy. If it's not this kind of shirt and a pair of black jeans, I don't know what to buy. So some discussion here. Oh, hi. I have to check always and remember people. Anita's here. Hi, Anita. Yeah, there's some discussion here about cats. Craft and Bev says my cat gets very mad at me when I have to leave them for 2 weeks to go babysit my grandkids. Let's just put it this way: I'm bit and nibbled quite a bit. Let me know not to do it again. Yeah, we came back from China, and Kitty was expecting, when we walked in the door, she was expecting the pet nanny or Walter Smith or somebody. She has more people come and play with her and clean her litter and check her water and her food and make sure she was great. So we walk in the door and she's looking at us going, oh, I was expecting someone else. You're back. And then she was all hearts and flowers when we first walked in. She used to like to roll and you'd rub her belly and she loved that. So we did that. Then she walks into the kitchen and we have a hardwood floor. Turns around, starts going meow, 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 and she dropped a load right there. And I went
and looked at you
and looked at us like and meow, meow, meow. Like, okay, you buggers, you left me. I'm gonna get you, because she never did that. And that was the only time she ever really did that too. But I said, okay, fine, this is out of her system. Clean it up, move on. But yeah, miss her a lot. Oh yeah, and then Craftsman says they're very spoiled. I only get a small part of the bed to sleep on because they're already claimed where they're going to sleep. Yeah, she would come in at night. She'd hop up, and she usually liked to sleep between my legs. And then you couldn't move. She had me pinned down.
Yeah, and then 1 year was I had an accident with my leg, and I had this big cast on, and she'd never climb on my legs, and so then she'd end up. She decided to walk all over my sore leg when I'm in bed.
Well, she used to, if she wanted you to get up in the morning, she'd walk on me, and then she'd bite my head.
She'd bite the end of your nose.
Or, but you know, she'd go up and go, to get up. Oh, I miss her so much. Thanks for bringing it up. I miss that baby. Anyways, move on to cheerier topics here. So that's what's pissing you. Anything else pissing you off this week? Anything you learned on the internet? You found of knowledge that you are?
No, not really.
No. Well, then let's talk about something very interesting this week. So, let's talk about reversed sexism, if that's even a term. And we went into Chapters. Chapters Indigo. It's, I don't know, some places they call it Chapters, some places they call it Indigo. It's a bookstore, basically. And it's
Canadian bookstore.
It's a Canadian bookstore. I love it. I go there all the time to our local one that's in the shopping center. And you know, these days bookstores are far and few between because everybody's reading electronically. And I'm one of those people. I read electronically. But they have a good selection of magazines and whatnot. So we're in there. First thing as we're walking in, I'm accosted by signs that say, Celebrate Women. Now, of course, Mother's Day is coming up, right? And they're doing a promotion for books directed towards female readers, I guess. Fine, I get that. But recently, not recently, over the last year or so, Chapters has been refurbishing their stores, making them more boutique-y looking because people aren't buying books. So they start to offer home decor kind of products. So they have an area that's all set up in the one that we go to that has a children's area. A place like children's books and things like that. And I think that's great because being a retired English teacher, I'm all about like encouraging children to read and things like that and literacy and all that kind of stuff. So that's great. But then they have another area, a room, basically a room, and it's called A Room for Her. And it's got little gitchy things in there and, silk scarves and jewelry and bath stuff and things like that, all that. I don't have a problem with that. That's fine. Where's a room for him? Celebrate women, a room for her. Where's a room for him? And I got thinking about this and going, wait just a minute. I am so sick of the Me Too thing. I'm so sick of being bashed because I'm a male. So I thought, no, I'm a loyal customer to this store. I've spent a lot of money here. I have one of their rewards cards, the whole bit. I'm going to write to them. So I did. And so this is what I wrote.
You're over the microphone.
Oh, so this is what I wrote. I went to your store in the Oshawa Shopping Center on April the 17th, 2018. I love your stores, and I especially love the layout and decor. I find your stores to be inviting and relaxing, which makes them a joy to browse in. I also like your selection of books and home decor items, as well as your extensive magazine choices. I have been shopping in your stores for years, as well as ordering online from them. I'm also a loyal rewards member. Recently, when I entered the store in the Oshawa Shopping Center, I was upset by a display of reading materials that were at the front entrance. The sign says, "Celebrate Women." I know that Mother's Day is coming up and that this is one of many promotions you do throughout the year, but I feel somewhat offended by this display. Why, you may ask? Simple. It is sexist. Also, I notice you have in your new store design different areas. You have a children's area, which is great because as a retired English teacher, I support anything that encourages children to read. However, you have a section labeled as a room of her own. I certainly support any effort in our society that helps promote and supports women. However, this is also sexist because I did not see an area labeled a room of his own. This made me realize that you're spending more effort on promoting your products to women than you are to men. I think this is also sexist because men do read. I feel you're excluding half of the population by focusing on women only. Now, maybe you have some campaigns at certain times of the year that focus on the male section of your customer base, i.e. Father's Day. But to have an area that is clearly labeled as being one for women only, i.e. a room of her own, is really saying we do not value our male customer base to the same degree as we value our female customer base. And in my mind, this suggests that you do not support one half of the population. This is disturbing, and as such I feel I cannot support this ideology. Therefore, I will be buying most of my books online from Amazon from now on, at least until your stores give visible and equal recognition to your male customer base. If you would like to reach out to me about this concern, please feel free to do so by replying to this message via my email address. Thank you for your time. So, after a couple of days, I did get an answer. In the meantime, Walter also wrote a letter of complaint to them as well.
Of course, it wasn't really worded as well as his. So.
But basically the same idea, the same gist in it. So we both got replies.
Almost identical.
Almost identical. And here's the reply that I got. Hi, Stephen. My name is Amima Syed. I'm the customer service coordinator at Indigo Books and Music. Thank you so much for contacting us and for taking the time to share your feedback with us. I'm glad to hear that you're a regular shopper with us, and I hope I'm able to respond to your concerns. You are definitely correct to call out the fact that during certain time periods, usually in line with real-world events such as International Women's Day and Month and Mother's Day, we have displays geared more specifically towards women. You're also correct to point out that during certain time periods, closer to Father's Day and in the summer, we feature more male-centric titles, products, and displays. We are constantly varying and updating our displays based on real-world events and trends, and your feedback is very valuable in helping us see what our customers are interested in and passionate about. With regards to our Room of Her Own section, you're quite correct. This section largely caters to women or people buying gifts for women. While we strive to satisfy all of our customers, as a retailer, there are a number of factors that affect what is on display at any given time, including customer interest, sales demand, and titles, themes, and topics that are currently trending. However, we of course don't want to exclude a large group of our customers, so your feedback is definitely helpful. And I have passed it along to our merchandising team, so they can keep it in consideration in their future planning decisions. Thank you again for contacting us, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Okay. He got the same message, basically. Mm-hmm. So we've got a canned...
Actually, I didn't show him the wording, but if we got the wording out, it would be identical to...
So basically, we got a canned comment from it. It's very politically correct, the comment, and it's bullshit, is what it is. So, I'm not letting it go. I wrote back. Hi, Mima, whatever, and thank you for your reply. However, your answer is not satisfactory simply because you have skirted around the issue. No pun intended. You have not answered the question of sexism, nor have you explained how you will clearly equalize the playing field in terms of gender promotion. I will be presenting your reply to my YouTube subscribers along with my original concerns. I would love an opportunity to speak to a representative of your merchandising department about this issue further. Also, another person I know had a similar concern, and that's being Walter, and your answer to him was almost word to word the same as the one you sent to me, which suggests that you are not seriously looking into this problem. You're just paying us lip service. I feel your company is doing an injustice to loyal customers, which include many men, by doing so. Again, thank you for your reply, but I feel it does not meet the mark, and as such, I will be voicing my concerns not only on my YouTube channel, but also with those I come into contact with that are also regular customers of Chapters/Indigo. Thank you for your time. So we'll see if I get any kind of reply to that. I suspect not, because I'm pretty much figured that they have figured I'm some kind of politically nutty guy or something with that. But the point is, if I had been a woman and I'd walked in and saw a sign that said "Celebrate Men," and if I had seen in that same store an area that says "A room for him," as a woman, I would be pissed off. I would see that as being sexist. I would be outraged because I'd be thinking, here we go again. Men, 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 always in control, always taking over. It's all about men. Why is it that this can't be seen the other way? So I looked up on the internet to see what the opposite is, or what the female version is of misogyny. And there is a word for it. It's called, I think you say it as misandry.
Misandry, yeah.
Misandry. Misandry. It also said that this is a word that is not very common in our language. It's not used very often. Right. Misogynist is used all the time. As soon as men open their mouths and say something against women, they're misogynistic. I'm saying women can be that way as well. And then you get a major company, and I know why they're doing it. Who's the majority of the buyers that come in for home decor and magazines? Okay? Women. Of course it is. I know that, and that's business. They're gearing their business towards those people who spend the most money. I get it. But nevertheless, they should be giving equal time to men as well, not just at Father's Day. And actually, most of the time, those displays on Father's Day, if you look at them, are geared towards women. Because who buys the Father's Day gifts? Women. Right? So I suppose in some ways it's a catch-22 all the way around it. But if we've got a society right now that's all uptight about the Me Too business and the whole bit, then let's just stand back for a moment and let's not assume that all men are misogynistic. And businesses should be supporting both sexes equally. So why celebrate women or why celebrate men? Why not just the word celebrate reading? Celebrate literature. Celebrate the written word. Why does it have to come down to putting a sex on it? So anyways, that's actually probably what was going to be my rant tomorrow. But it just pisses me off, really, about all of that. So that probably opened up a can of worms. Let's back up and see. Marie says, it's Year of the Woman. 100 years since we got the vote. Fine. So what? Did you know that not all men had the vote at one point in time? You had to make a certain amount of money and you had to be in the elite class to have the vote. Yes, all men got the vote sooner than women did, but there was a time when not all men were seen as equal in the male spectrum of things. So we don't celebrate that though, do we? No. I love books more than I love craft supplies. Can't to the electronic books. I love the way books feel and smell. Um, and Anita says, I think Virginia Woolf wrote an essay or book called A Room of Her Own or Her Own. Yes, it was Virginia Woolf who did that. Um, and G Tiger, which is Glenn, says, yes, they can. I hear it at work all the time. I'm not sure what we're referring to there. And Laura says, or just non-gendered. Yeah. And Laura says, that's awesome. Literacy should be the focus. Exactly. But of course, Laura, you're biased because you're an English teacher too. And Chuck says, always follow the money. Bookstores are in desperate economic situation. Yes, they are, Chuck. I agree. And that's fine and dandy. And Glenn says, women talking about men, just the same way men are accused of talking about women. Exactly, but you never hear that. You never hear that. What you hear on the news is, once again, how men are being misogynistic. All men are being misogynistic. But women aren't. They're not being I can't say that. Misandriistic? I don't know. I think I made that word up now. But I don't know. Some of my best friends are women. I was in a sewing class with women. Had a lot of fun with them. I worked in a craft store with women.
Like when I do stained glass, when I used to go to a shop, it's always I was one of the only guys that did it. So
I worked in a department that was the majority were women. They were all intelligent ladies. They all were very creative, the whole bit. They were.
I had a female boss, have a female doctor, I have a female proctologist or whatever you want to call her.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah. So I mean, this kind of thing, and I'm not alone. There's lots and lots and lots of men who do not see women as inferior, but yet you have a store.
Actually, what actually ticked me up until recently, what actually ticked me off, and it was the medical association that did this. For years I've had a female doctor, or a female family doctor, right? And there are quite a few female family doctors in Ontario, but every time I went to the hospital or went to make an appointment somewhere else or whatever, they always would use the male, the admin person who is female would always use the male term for doctor. Like they would say, make sure your doctor, he does this, he does that. And I kept having to correct them and say, her. My doctor's a female, it's a her. Oh, but they always would assume your doctor was male, which annoyed me because you would think that there's enough female doctors around that they would.
Well, I think in a case like that, this is an example of where women are their own worst enemies. I mean, if they want to remind people that women are just as capable of men, then why are they automatically referring to doctors as men? That, like, as you said, there's lots and lots and lots of female doctors out there, tons of them. There's females in every type of work. But this is the thing. Chuck says, what would you suggest to be in a room of his own that would bring in the same revenue as a room of his own? I have no suggestions. You know why? Because men aren't shoppers. So, maybe woodworking?
But even that, if it was a room of his own, and even that, it would actually make the female shoppers maybe looking for something for a man go in.
Yeah. Why do you need a room of her own, period?
Yeah, I don't think you need that.
I think the question isn't necessarily like I put in the letter about having a room of his own. What I really mean is there does not need to be any room for anybody's own. Just put it out there. I don't think you need to have a special display. Oh, well, maybe on Mother's Day, if you want to do a special display for gift ideas, right? And the same with Father's Day. I get that. I can see that. But really, it's an insult. It is an insult to my intelligence. Is an insult to my sex. When you do something like that.
Okay, so you take us with our situation.
Yeah. Do they have a room for the
Okay,
gay?
no, like if I go into a bookstore and I want to buy, let's say, a quirky, I buy a book for him, and then I want to buy some sort of quirky gift. Am I going to go into a room for her to buy him a gift? I'll probably go away from it. I'm not going to do that. Like, or I probably figure that's all for women. I'm not getting anything in there.
And the other thing too is, okay, another way to look at it as well is the room for her own. I've gone in there and I've checked out what their merchandise is, and their merchandise is sexist. Sexist for the fact that it's got pretty shiny things. That's what it is. It's filled with pretty shiny things. Isn't that an insult to women to suggest that a woman's head will be turned because they've got a little bauble that's shiny? Isn't that sexist? Isn't that suggesting that women only are concerned? It's a bookstore with all kinds of literature, that world literature, literature on every topic there is, famous writers, classic writers, all this kind of stuff in there. And then you have this room for its own, and it's got some little trinkets that, like earrings that are like cheap little baubles of plastic and things like that. Isn't that an insult to women, to their intellect? To think that, and it's a large area. It's not just a little, like, it's not a section.
We're not talking a little room.
We're talking like
a fifth of the store or whatever.
Yeah, like it's a big room. So basically, I think if I was a woman, I'd feel insulted by that, because they're suggesting that all my mind can handle is trinkets, is little trivial things, when I have all this other the rest of this bookstore out there with literature in it. But I know what's going to get the women in here, show them something shiny. I think that's insulting, really.
Anyway,
I'm just catching up here.
Yeah.
Andrea says, it seems like the television section of Best Buy as the men's section of the store. Yeah. But they do have a woman's section. I hate to say it, but it's full of appliances. Okay, there's a stereotype. Okay. Well, okay. So it's not just this particular store, this company. All companies do it. I mean, yes, they all do it. But that just perpetuates sexism.
I think it was more, a lot of the stores do that, but I think this one sort of like was a little bit more blatant, in your face type of thing. Like compared to other stores. Like, I mean, they have
that huge signs.
I mean, like, does Home Depot have a women's section? Maybe the Plant Shop or whatever, I don't know.
But Home Depot, now there's an example. Home Depot does not have a room for him. They sell hardware. They sell garden furniture. They sell it. But I have never seen a sign in a store like Home Depot that says, this is definitely for men. This is something the little lady might be interested in.
They have had pink-handled hammers before.
Oh, have they? Well, okay. That Chuck still is mentioning, of course, that what should be is not necessarily profitable. Yeah, exactly. I know it's about money, Chuck. Yeah, it's obvious it's about money. In fact, the reply from that woman from their PR, basically that's what she's saying. She's using the word trendy. Trend, what's on trend. She means what will sell and how we will find the right demographic to buy it. Yeah, I get it. It's all about the money, of course. I'm just seeing what else here. Marie says, I'm a woman and I love electronics and gadgets of all descriptions. I'm not normal. Normal's boring. Wait, Maria. Why should you say because you like electronics you're not a normal woman? You're just a person who keeps up with technology. My grandmother, back in the 60s, used to buy what would have been considered trendy and state-of-the-art electronics in her day, because she was genuinely interested in that kind of stuff and she wanted to keep up with what was going on. You take my mother, for example. She doesn't know how to use a computer or an iPad, and she said she didn't want to learn. And Here's the kicker of why she didn't want to learn. I don't want to chip my nails. Stereotype, yes, but that's my mother. So, her highest piece of technology that my mother uses is a remote control. And
even that doesn't work.
Even some of that time doesn't work either. So I don't think you're abnormal, Marie. I think you're just someone who's keeping up.
I don't think there's a good word to say anyone is normal.
Yeah.
Like, normal's a bad word.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's, everybody does things that they're interested in. Like, he's doing quilting now, so he's interested in that, right? I've done stained glass, I've done other stuff. I'm interested in that. People should be able to do whatever they want. Yeah. Right? It doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman.
And Craft and Betty says, or Bev says,
I like to cook, so.
Can cameras are for sissies because they're not meant for real work? I do real work when I use a drill and hammer, screwdriver and all. I'm not sure what the first part of that means, but yeah. Well, yeah, and then somebody said pink hammers are stupid. And
yeah, but for some reason, well, get onto another topic. Women that paint their sewing machines.
Oh. Okay, this is hilarious. I should have brought that up. I can't even remember what YouTube channel that was.
Well, it seems like the Cricut or whatever. He has a Cricut, which is a electronic cutting machine. And apparently it's a real big thing to have
your tools coordinate.
Or the women, or I'm assuming mostly women. Here I go.
Well, this is what Chuck is saying.
People are saying people are uptight what the color of their machine is.
Mm. They either they've come out with colors that women will like, and this is what Chuck is saying. It's the profitability of it. They've just come out with a Martha Stewart machine that's in rose gold or something, and they have the little tools that you use with it in the coordinating colors and the whole bit. And I watched the stuff on the comments on these YouTubes now, and they're going, oh, I was waiting for that color to look so nice in my craft room with all my other things, and they coordinated. I figure, I don't care if it was neon pink. I would buy it. I don't buy it for the color. I buy it because of what it does. But, so yeah, there's the profit in all of that.
So then we saw a YouTube video about some woman showing you how to paint your sewing machine to get it from that drab off-white color that all the sewing machines are to a customized color.
She painted it. She spray painted her sewing machine, which...
a teal color,
actually. I can't think that that's really good for your sewing machine, like the interior of it.
I would be afraid that it would rub off eventually on your fabric.
On your fabric and stuff like that. But I'd forgotten about that one, but that's hilarious. Yeah. And it was funny, listen, because she did a whole tutorial on how she painted it.
Yeah, and then later on she did you watched a tutorial that she did on sewing a quilt, and she was doing it on this machine. She had this, obviously had painted it teal, and not well because there were spots where she missed.
Yeah, I mean, so there you go. But anyways, I don't know, it just, that particular day, for some reason, seeing that sign struck me the wrong way. And I did give the poor girl at the checkout a bit of a hard time. I felt sorry for her because not her fault. She's not in control of it. But I said to her, so when do you celebrate men? And I did it with this face.
Of course, she just probably...
And she didn't have
She probably just figured you're an old...
Oh, yeah, I'm an old fart.
fart.
Yeah, well, I suppose that could be another rant for another day about how older people are treated like we don't know anything. Like, because, we're all out to lunch. We haven't lived any life, right? After 60 years, I think I know a few things that more so than a 20-year-old. But whatever. Okay, so moving on. That was it. What are we watching this week? Well, we finished The Eastsiders, and I mentioned this one last week. It is a Netflix series. It's in 3 seasons, and it's about a gay couple. And is it good? No, I mean...
Actually, it wasn't.
Actually, I think you have to be gay to appreciate some of the stuff that's in it, because they do get into some actually very serious things that I'm pretty sure if you're not gay, it would go over your head or under your feet, one or the other. You wouldn't get it. And then binged watched the new Lost in Space. You remember the old Lost in Space in the 1960s? On that, with the robot with the short arm going, "Danger, Will Robinson! Danger, Will Robinson!" This kind of stuff. I'm still not sure whether I really liked it or not. It is very
It was
different.
okay.
Yeah, it's very high. Like they spent a lot of money on the.
Yeah, apparently it didn't take them long to
Effects.
shoot it. It took them most of the time for the CGI effects.
Isn't that weird? Precy's comment: I color coordinate my utensils and spice jars, but it came up I had to approve that comment to go through for some reason. I don't know why. Glenn says, I binge watched East Siders because you talked about it last week. I did not like it. It's kind of boring. I don't know if there's going to be a fourth season, but like I said, there were moments that you could relate to in a point, but you had to be like us. The Lost in Space thing, I'll watch the second season if they come out with one. We did watch 2 movies on Netflix. We watched Midnight Special, which actually wasn't bad. It's kind of a weird little science fiction-y kind of thing. Got a religious cult trying to protect a kid who shoots laser eyes out, and he's from another dimension, but they don't know that until halfway through. It's kind of freaky. It's not bad. And then we watched a comedy, Ken, which is about.
I didn't like that one.
Yeah, well, it was what's their name? Peel and there are a couple of black comedians. You probably know who they are. Peel and something, and they did this movie, and it's got a cat in it, and it had its moments. It was kind
We
of
also
funny.
watched the Monty Python thing.
Oh, I forgot all about that. Yeah, the Eric Idle stage play, which is actually supposed to be an old time radio play, but done on stage, and it's funny. And what was it called? Oh, All About Dick,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah. And it's got like some big names in it. It's got Russell
Crowe.
Crowe. No, not
No,
Russell
no.
Crowe. Russell Brand.
Russell Brand.
Brand, whatever
Brand.
his name is.
Yeah.
Tracy Ullman.
Yeah.
A bunch of others on it, and it's
Iggy Edwards. Edward Iggy.
oh no, Eddie
Izzard.
Izzard, yeah,
Yeah.
and a bunch of like that. Of course, they're all British actors, kind of a deal. But actually, it was kind of worth the watch. It was funny. Of course, Eric Idle.
The only thing is that it's all with British accent, and some of it is a little bit hard to decipher.
Yeah,
So
there were
it's-
moments.
Yeah.
Well,
so-
especially when the one guy's doing the Scottish accents and he's
Yeah.
going on and on. But I think that was the whole point.
Yeah.
You were even the characters on stage are going. What
they
do you say?
they were beginning to laugh.
Yeah.
So.
Chuck asked, "Do you watch Bosch? Bosch, Bosch? Enjoyed the TV noir of L.A., California. Watched first episode of Lost in Space. Not sure yet. How about the movie Love, Simon? Yes, we saw the movie Love, Simon. I think I commented on that a couple of weeks ago.
It was good.
It was a good movie. It's a select audience kind of thing, like gay, but it's got a lot of things in it that I think it especially will appeal to younger people more so than older people. But it's a little sleeper because they never figured it would do as well as it did out of it, and it was a relatively low budgety.
It's just like
movie.
that movie that we saw, the horror movie, The Quiet Place.
Oh yeah,
They
that's
figured
good.
it would be a sleeper, and it did a lot better in the movie theaters.
It's not really a horror; it's more of a thriller.
Yeah, I
It's
suppose.
because it's not gross and gory kind of.
No.
It's more suspenseful. But I don't know this one you're talking about, Chuck. This Bosch. So we have to look that one up and see what that is. Anything new on YouTube? Nope, not really. Just the woman who painted her sewing machine. Forgot all about that. What am I reading? Same book I was reading last week. What's cooking? Meat pies. So, what's coming up this week? Well, this is the week where we find out whether or not I can get my mother onto a waiting list for a nursing home. We finally get the powers that be come to interview her and assess her on Wednesday. And I've already told my mother this lady will not be leaving unless your name is on a waiting list, and she will not leave your apartment alive unless it's that. So we'll see. I've told my mother don't get all gussied up for this. Nope. We're playing this to the hilt. Well, we're not playing it. It's true, but you need to be pretty much dead before they'll actually do something for you, and that's a little late, isn't it? We got invited out to dinner. Ooh, next Saturday, we're going into Toronto to friends of ours' place for dinner. We're actually staying overnight in their condo, but we're not staying in their actual condo. They have, because we said, well, if we're drinking, we don't want to be driving back from Toronto home, and we will be drinking. So we were looking for a hotel room, and they said they had rooms there that you like, hotel rooms in this condo that you can rent for a night, just like a hotel room. So we said, sure, can you get us one of those? And they did. So great, we don't have to go outside or anything. Just down. What are they on, the 26th floor?
They're on the 26th, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So we just had
And
to go
they're,
down to the.
Yeah.
So we.
It's a guy actually that I used to work with. He was a consultant, and we became friends. And both he and his partner have been together for a long time. So, so we stay in touch. And I haven't seen Michael for a while.
No.
But and the other thing is both of us have Dutch backgrounds. And
You and Michael, yes.
yeah. So anyway, yeah, it'd be nice to see him again. And
Yeah, we haven't seen them since
your birthday.
my birthday last year in July. Yeah, that's when last time we saw them. So, yeah, that'll be kind of nice, something different. And the best part.
They have a really nice condo in downtown Toronto.
Oh yeah, really nice condo.
Well, they bought it. How long ago did they buy it?
Oh, they've been there well over 10 years now.
Yeah,
If-
well, when
probably
they bought
longer
it,
than
it was over $800,000, and I'm sure if they sold it now, it'd be well over $1 million. So.
Yeah, Anita says sounds like you'll have a good fun time. Yeah. Now I don't know who else they're having there for dinner. There's
Oh,
friend
it
of
was
theirs.
Jacques. The other Jacques. You know, the guy that used to run the nursing home.
Oh,
This
yeah.
private nursing
Oh,
home.
are they going to be there?
Yeah, him and his partner.
Yeah. And they have like a dining room, and they love to collect antique things.
So it's a little bit.
It's a little bit up here, like when we go there, until I walk into the room, and then everything just drops right down to, crud level. Out of it all, and go, well, that's nice. Don't give me the good glasses to drink out of. I'll probably break them. So, which reminds me, we have other friends in Toronto that they like Victorian antiques and have a lot of Victorian glassware. And I've always told them, don't ever serve me anything in one of those really nice glasses, because I don't know, they have thin stems, and I just want to snap them.
Yeah,
So they bought me a special glass that they got for $2
a flea market.
at a flea market or on a garage sale or something that looks like a Victorian glass, but I mean, it's only $2. It's not, and that's my glass. Every time I go over there, that's what I drink out of. So, anyways, it'll be fun. Be interesting. I think poor Jacques is under a great deal of stress because what he makes for dinner, because he does things, he spends days planning ahead of time, and it all has to be absolutely perfect. So, and it usually is. But anyways, they don't have any animals anymore, do they?
No, they used to have a
They're-
cat and a dog, and they're both gone now. Yeah, I don't think they're getting any more. So, and
They had the cutest little dog. What was it?
Bichon Freeze or something.
Something? Yeah, it was the cutest little thing, too. It was a little bit hyperactive as well. It would get excited and tinkle. But and other things. The cat.
The
always-
cat used to jump on us. And
Yeah,
stuff
somebody
like
had
that. Then
cats
it
do
got diabetes, and they were giving it shots for a while. So
Yeah, they had to give it insulin or
but
whatever.
yeah. So Michael and I used to work in the same. He used to get contracts at the same company I was at for a while, but then our company decided not to have any more contract people in, so he ended up having to get work elsewhere. and the two of them have enough money that they could retire.
Oh yeah.
No problem. And Jock is retired, but Michael is
Michael's a workaholic.
but Michael has no other interests.
Okay, like I'm
yeah.
trying to.
Okay,
like,
well, go
okay,
ahead.
because what if they see this?
Well, okay, no worries.
Anyways, they're good people, and it'll be fun. It'll be something a little different, and the best part is we can drink whatever we want, and we're only an elevator ride away from where we will pass out. So that's good. So speaking of passing out, I think that's about it for this week. Yeah, so nothing else, nothing on your
No.
mind, got to get off your chest, whatever. I'll keep you informed if I get another letter from Chapters, but I don't think they're going to do that. Anyways, that's such as life. Whatever. What can you do? So I hope everybody has a good week. I hope the weather's nicer wherever you are too, if it's not already nice, because ours is nicer. And yeah, we'll talk to you next Sunday, and my vlog will go up tomorrow, and there'll probably be a couple of other videos this week on who knows what that I'll put up. So talk to y'all later. Bye bye.